Good morning, good morning, good morning. We're about to start the show. Good morning, everyone. We're going to ask for a moment of silence as we begin the show. Hold the line. Hold the line. Hold the line. Thank you. So we have our brother, Reverend Marquise Lewis, who's going to open up the show with a prayer.
Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you. Thank you for being the beginning and the end of our lives. We thank you for watching over us early this morning and allowing us to rise with breath in our bodies. We thank you, oh God, that no fire have broken out, no thieves have broken in. We promise not to take credit for your work. Father, we ask that you stop by here, right here, oh God, in Newark, New Jersey, to continue to have your hand upon us, oh God. Touch these men, oh God, these fathers, oh God. Give them the strength, oh God, to lead their families, oh God. We ask, oh God, that no weapon formed against us will prosper, but we will continue to give you all the glory, all the honor, and all the praise. And God's people say amen.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the 9th Annual Mayor's Men's Breakfast Meeting. My name is Victor. I'm a Newark native and a counselor with the unstoppable Brick City Peace Collective. Give it up for my team. Give it up for my team. I'm honored to be here with you all today. One second, y'all. Technology. For a show of hands, if this is your first time attending the Mayor's Men's Breakfast Meeting, please raise your hand. This is my first time too. Let's give it up. Thanks for showing up. All right. Raise your hand if this is your third time at a men's meeting. Awesome. Your sixth time at a men's meeting. Your ninth time at a men's meeting. That's all right. Y'all showed up. That is all right. So whether it's your first or your ninth time, we welcome you and celebrate you today because we are Newark. For those of you who are here and are interested in joining the monthly men's meeting, the monthly men's meeting is held the fourth Friday of every month at 6 p.m. at Central High School. Please be sure to follow our Instagram page, Newark Men's Meeting, for updates. The monthly men's meeting and annual breakfast would not be possible without the Honorable Mayor Raj J. Baraka. Let's give him a round of applause. Awesome. No matter rain or shine, one thing is true about Mayor Baraka. He will be present at every men's meeting. I'll tell you a quick story. It was a cold winter day, and Mayor Baraka and myself, we were locked out the meeting space for the monthly meeting. And I'm thinking, is he gonna call it after 40 minutes of standing out there? But he was committed to ensuring the meeting was held and that the attendees' needs were met. That just goes to show how dedicated he truly is. Mayor Raz Baraka believes and sees the value of gathering men in the community for civic engagement, making connections, sharing information and resources as part of his vision for a better Newark. Today we have present our council members, Newark Police Department, Newark Fire Department, the Office of Violence Prevention, Trauma Recovery, and all other vendors who took time to be present with us today. So let's give it up for them. Be sure to stop at the Newark Police and Fire Department table. They have applications. Port Authority is here. We have opportunities to connect you with business, subcontracts. They have the air train going on that they're building out. We have our brother, Dr. Walter, to highlight men's health, so be sure to stop at Blood Cancer United table as well. We have Al Khalik, the Hatter, in the building with hats, so be sure to stop at his table as well, and all other vendors. Family, you may want to take notes for this one. Shortly, we have four dynamic guest panelists sharing their wealth of knowledge of development, business ownership, and wealth building. We want to give an advanced thanks to Adina Bayou, Ricardo Sosa, Calvin Souter, Lamont Carter for sharing their expertise. Let's give them a round of applause for being here. I would like to take a special moment to personally thank my team from Brick City Peace Collective, Director Josiah Paul, Assistant Director Cortillo Orr, Josephine, Amanda, and Kevin for helping making this event possible. Before passing the mic off to Brother Abdul, for those who are new here, I'm going to say 3 words, and you repeat after me. Hold the line. Hold the line. Hold the line. All right, let's give it up for Brother Abdul.
Assalamu alaikum. Where we about to eat at? Yeah, today is a special day, man. I want to start off again with thanking the mayor for creating this space, for having this annual men's breakfast meeting. Could we give him a round of applause, y'all? I don't know what that means to everyone, but it means something very special to the men's meeting people, participants. This means we get an extension. I mean, I see these men's breakfasts be super crowded, but we do have a monthly meeting every month at Central High School where the mayor takes his time out of his busy schedule to come to a private room to voluntarily share information with us on how to do business with the city, you know, on how to be better men, how to be responsible. I mean, it helped me to become a better father. I'm being honest. You know, sitting in that room, listening to the mayor, I need it. I get that dose every month, once a month, because it's a constant reminder of the opportunities that lies in the city of Newark. You know, a lot of us, you know, me, I come from running the streets. I'm 46 years old. I ran the streets for 23 years of my life, half my life. And as I go through this journey, you know, becoming a developer, I'm constantly in and out of City Hall. I'm constantly in and out of Invest Newark. I'm also a business owner. So I own Abby's. And from the men's meeting, I acquired the building from the city of Newark, from the information, from the mayor, from the men's meeting that got me that building. But I want to touch on a couple things, you know, and just my experiences and my trials and tribulations of getting here. Me standing on this stage, it is a privilege, but I didn't get any special privileges from the mayor or nobody from the city. I earned this. I earned this by following instructions. And every month, the mayor gives out specific instructions. I know people come there, you know, they think it's all a game. They think the men's meeting is just a room full of chitter-chatter. We got people coming there being disruptors. We got people coming there complaining. We got people coming there for all the wrong reasons. I come there for the right reason. I come to get a dose of information. I come to get a dose of encouragement. I come to get access to information from the head nigga in charge. Excuse my French. Excuse my French. But I mean, you gotta be frank. I mean, I stood up, I was prepared for this meeting months ago. And they told me to come up with a speech. I had brain fog. I sat up to 2 o'clock last night in the morning, at home on my back patio trying to write something. I sat with Josiah for 2 hours last night in the same hotel, you know what I'm saying, going over thoughts and stuff, but I couldn't come up with nothing. But I do have something because every day I go through crazy experiences in this city. And the men's meeting was created to help us men to stand up, When I'm going through these departments in City Hall, and no disrespect to the men, every department where it comes to making decisions is filled with women. These men's meetings are so important. I need us as men to stand up, to be accountable, to be responsible, to be the leaders. It's no slight to the women, but I was raised that men are here to make it easier on the women. These men's meetings, look at me. These men's meetings is the reason I'm up here. Just last week, maybe 2 weeks ago, I closed on a 10,000 square foot lot with the city of Newark. I know everybody's sitting around saying, you know, I'm everybody's favorite, but I'm just the guy that works the hardest. I'm the guy that really want it. I want to be on the stage. I want to do a 27-unit building. I want to be the guy in Newark. I want to own real estate. I want to do business with developers. I want to make history. I want to be great. So I just want y'all to understand that takes hard work. As all y'all know, I own Abby's. It's Saturday. We will be open right now. But I'm willing to give something to get something. I closed my business because this is only once a year. I'm not going to be able to see these people next Saturday. The customers at Abby's, I will be able to. And I'm just saying all that. You got to give something to get something. You're not entitled to no real estate or no favors or nothing because you knew somebody for 20 years. You're not entitled to nothing because you're from Newark. You're not entitled to nothing because you was my best friend since we was 5. Nobody's entitled to nothing around here except for what you earn. And you're only getting what you put out. Most people that don't know me think I work for the city of Newark. I don't. I just work so closely with them that I done became damn near an employee. But again, it's the work ethic. It's the skills. It's the determination. It's the resilience. Nobody could disregard me. Nobody could put me to the side. Nobody could make me feel less than. I just want y'all to know everything is capable and everything is possible. I see brothers that I couldn't fathom being in this room. I'm glad y'all made it. Because a lot of us come from the same walks of life. And I just want y'all to understand that it's possible. You know, going to these men's meetings, it's the man that installed in my head, bite off more than you can chew. Think bigger. Go back 5 more times, Abdul. And he got this saying where he said he's cover fire. I don't think y'all understand what that means. Cover fire means that you do your part to the fullest till you can't do it no more. And just when you don't got not an inch of breath or inch of hope left, he's going to pick them off for y'all. He's going to open up the well. He's going to open up that door, but you got to do your part. And doing your part is not knowing nobody for 20 years. Doing your part is getting the application, filling it out, delivering it yourself, coming back when they say come back, waiting till next week. You know what I'm saying? It takes a lot of hard work. But I just want y'all to understand what we got here. This city is full of value. You know, we created something called the EHD Committee, which is the Economic Housing Development Committee. And when we started this about 4 or 5 years ago, it was 75 members. But as y'all know, most of us come from a transactional lifestyle where, you know, you give somebody something and you get something. Real estate is not like that. Acquiring property is not like that. Especially when you're buying dilapidated properties or lots. When you buy a lot from the city of Newark, you pay a check and you get a piece of paper. You don't even probably get no structure. You know, this is a long process, and it's a long game. And if you're in it for something right now, you might as well leave out this room, because you don't know when it's going to come in real estate. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know when it's going to happen. Sometimes you don't know how it's going to happen. Me, I just constantly keep pushing forward. Can't see what's ahead of me. I can see these opportunities. I can actually see what's going on. Anybody from Newark, you can ride through any street right now, and there's construction going on. From Bergen Street to 20th Street. From Park Avenue to Chancellor Avenue. You know what I'm saying? And if that don't inspire you, and that don't show you that's actually happening, then I think y'all all just full of shit. Excuse my French again. I can't help it. The opportunities are here. The opportunities are here. And the mayor's here again for another 4 years, and that has saved a lot of people jobs, a lot of people opportunities, a lot of people hope. You know, outside of all the, the rhetoric and all the social media stuff, I mean, I met the mayor going to the men's meeting. I don't know him personally. I know him personally now, but I met him. And I've shown him that I'm dead serious and I mean what I say, and I'm gonna do what I say. I'm gonna leave y'all with this. I'm from Newark, where icons, legends, and the greats are created. So watch me work or come work with me, but one way or another is gonna get done. Hold the line. 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 Thank y'all.
All right, y'all, let's give it up for our brother Abby one more time. All right, so at this time, we're going to bring Director Josiah Paul up to the stage, and he's going to introduce the panelists. All right, so let's give him a round of applause.
Let's give our brother Victor a round of applause. This was his first time. He out here, he's shining, first time. We want to thank our brother. We want to thank our mayor. Our mayor's here. We want to thank all the first timers who's here for their very first time. Give yourselves a round of applause for being in the space. Now look, I know the eggs is good, but we ain't come here for eggs. We ain't come here for grits. We ain't coming, I know we got some grits. You know, you put the butter, the sugar, the salt. I don't know if you're a sugar or salt person, but we came here for business. This is the men's meeting. Hold the line. Hold the line. Oh, no, wait a second. This is the wrong space. Mayor, I think this is the women's. I didn't hear the testosterone in this room. Hold the line. Hold the line. Hold the line. Hold the line. There we go. There we go. Give yourselves a round of applause. Come on now. I'm sorry, BA. I'm sorry. Okay, but at this point, we have something very special for everyone. We're going to have a panel discussion with 4 developers that are doing some tremendous work here in the city of Newark. We wanted to switch it up so that way we can learn from some people that are just at the top, and they're doing some great work. So as you hear your name, please come up as I read your bio. We want to first bring on Miss Adina Bayo. Let's give her a round of applause. Her journey is one of resilience, hope, and the American dream realized, escaping Liberia's civil war at just 13. She came to the U.S. with nothing but determination and a dream inspired by her grandmother, who ran a restaurant back home. Today, Adina is a celebrated entrepreneur in New Jersey, owning 9 restaurants, including 3 IHOP franchises at 27. She became one of the youngest IHOP franchises in the country. In 2017, she co-founded Cornbread, a fast casual farm-to-table soul food restaurant with Zadie B. Smith, expanding to Newark, Brooklyn, and Montclair. Her passion for serving underserved communities led her to launch Brick City Vegan in 2021, a plant-based concept with 2 thriving locations. Adina's impact goes beyond food as a real estate developer. She has a passion for revitalizing urban neighborhoods with several projects in Newark and Irvington under her belt, most notably redeveloping the former Irvington General Hospital site. In 2023, she made history as the first Black woman in New Jersey to secure a 9% NJFMAA affordable housing credit for her Southside View. Let's give that a round of applause. A 40-unit property in Newark South Ward. Despite the accolades and achievement, what truly drives Adina is her unwavering commitment to giving back. She remains deeply connected to the communities that have shaped her journey, always striving to create opportunities for others to thrive. Let's give her a round of applause. Let's bring on Ricardo Gunsosa. He is the founder and president of Gunsosa Development and Construction, a family-owned commercial real estate development and construction company established in 2001. With more than 20 years of experience in real estate investment, development, construction, and property management, Mr. Sosa has led to the development and rehabilitation of over 3,000 residential units and more than 2 million square feet of commercial property throughout the northeastern United States, with their primary focus in Essex and Union County, New Jersey. Let's give him a round of applause. Let's bring on Lamont Carter. Lamont Carter is the founder and CEO of the Eminence Group, a vertically integrated real estate development, construction, and investment platform focused on affordable workforce and mixed income housing using throughout New Jersey and Philadelphia region. Throughout his career, he has developed and transacted more than 900 residential units while leading projects that drive community revitalization and economic growth. In addition to serving as a developer, Carter's platform has been active in private credit investing and the acquisition of institutional non-performing assets, NPAs, creating value across multiple sectors of real estate industry as a developer, builder, and entrepreneur. He is committed to expanding pathways to ownership, wealth creation, and community development. Let's give our brother a round of applause. And our last panelist is Mr. Calvin Sador. Let's give our brother a round of applause as he comes up. Calvin Sador is an attorney whose practice includes commercial and residential real estate, tax law, compliance litigation, toxic torts, products liability, fraud, corporate government, compliance, and assurance. He represents corporations and government entities in advising on complex corporate transactions and various legal matters. In his practice, Mr. Sador assists developers and property owners with redevelopment, agreements, long-term tax exemptions, pilots, and tax appeals. He provides crucial governments and landlord tenants in municipal court cases, helping clients develop defense strategies against claims and manage legal challenges. Additionally, he offers strategic planning, consultation, focusing on the impact of policy and regulatory changes. His expertise also includes facilitating clients access to legislators involved in legislation across real estate education, healthcare, energy, environment, and insurance. I'm gonna stop right there for time. Let's give our brother a round of applause. So before we begin, we just want to settle down the noise. We want to ask everybody to start taking their seats. Really, all the food should be closed down at this time. We're going to reopen it after the program. So if you are a server, please, let's just tell everyone to take their seats because we want to give this our undivided attention. I understand the breakfast is good, but we did come here for business. So let's move with this program and let's just try to be respectful to our panelists. You guys are good? This ain't your first time up here, is it? Okay, first time, okay, all right. Well, not first time being a panelist. First time? No, okay, you guys do this all the time. So we want to just open up. One of the first questions we want to ask our panelists is, can you share your personal journey into development or franchise ownership, and what was the first opportunity that helped you get started? Anyone can start off with the question.
Hey, how you doing? So my journey, the way I started, my name is Ricardo Sosa. I started my journey at age of 13, started doing construction, doing masonry work. I fell in love with it the first time I started it. I opened my construction company at age of 18, started out doing fix and flip, got the opportunity to buy my first house in the city of Irvington at age of 19. That was my first step into the real estate space, and never looked back from it, and continue growing and educating myself and reaching out to others that was in the same space. The key thing here is to be able to collaborate with other people that are in the space and that has the knowledge. We don't have all the question and knowledge, and this is why we need to always look for others that have the knowledge that we don't have. So basically, it's doing collaboration.
Thank you.
So my first experience actually started in the town where I'm from, Jersey City. It ended in a pre-foreclosure and credit score of 400. It was a house that I'd bought from Santander Bank. It was a house that went into foreclosure, got foreclosed on. It was an FHA 203K, right? A lot of you might know that. That's a tool you use to be able to do conventional financing along with construction. And you put down 3.5%, right? So here I am, young black man in Jersey City with a job, and thought it was an opportunity. And it was. But I didn't know what I didn't know, right? And didn't know construction at the time. Hired a contractor. I got left high and dry. And had to tackle that project myself. But obviously it ended in a stage where, I didn't have the experience to understand how to build. I didn't have the tools, the resources, the help, the family, or just people around me, who could just provide that wisdom. But it was able to muddle through it, right? I held that property for almost 6 years. While it was in the pre-foreclosure status, and really learned that whole entire process, and has essentially taken that as my base, and we've gotten here today. But that was my first foray into real estate, which wasn't pleasant. I wouldn't want to relive that at all, but it taught me a lot of lessons for sure. And just to say, look, I tell my staff all the time, I had a 400 credit score only, it was like 10, 11 years ago, and here we are today. So anything can be done.
So my start into real estate was a little bit different. I'm the attorney on the stage versus the developers. Some time ago, I was working at a very large law firm that felt like they could move the world, and then they started doing some work in Newark and represented some clients in Newark. So I was working on the World Trade Center cases, so that's where the toxic tort thing comes from. That was a big environmental site in cleanup. And I got called into a meeting in reference to one of the largest environmental sites that was going to be developed here in the city of Newark, New Jersey. At the time, we had a Councilman Baraka, who was staunch in the community for making sure that the environmental concerns of those here in our city were being thought of and acted on, and not just kind of run roughshod over. So the CEO of one of the biggest corporations in the United States called me into their office one day and said, "I think you know this guy, this Councilman Baraka, and we need him to get on our side with this whole thing." So I remember leaving that office. I went to Councilman Baraka's office, which was at Central High School at the time. And I walked in, he was trying to figure out why I wanted to talk to him about this big project. And he goes, "They entrusted you with coming here and trying to get my vote?" And I was like, "Yeah, I don't know much about what's really happening." And he made a promise to me that he would support me if I ensured that I made sure that the minds and hearts of the people of this community were looked at and put in the forefront. So that was my first real estate deal, representing Hess here in the city of Newark and Now, Mayor Baraka believing enough in me that I would ensure that the thoughts and minds and the health of the people of Newark was considered in that development project. So, again, I'd like to thank the mayor for that, because since then, I've had some of the biggest corporations in America rely on me to get their needs here in the state of New Jersey, and particularly in Newark. But it reminded me that this is our community, and we can develop our community the way that we want to, as long as we have representation in the room that actually truly cares about us. So that's my story and journey into real estate.
Hello, good morning. Good morning. Good morning, yes. Third time is a charm. My name is Adina Bayo, and I started in real estate at a very young age. I graduated from college, went to Fairleigh Dickinson University, graduated from Weekwood High School. There's a lot of Indians in the building, for sure. And when I came back, my parents had just bought a house in Newark, a two-family house in North Newark. Sharp Jane was mayor at the time, and my dad qualified for a program. And when I came home, I told my dad I wanted to buy a house, and he said, "How? You just came out of college, you don't have no money." And I said, "Yep, I have $27,000 saved up." And throughout college, I worked 3-4 jobs, and I was just a good saver. And I bought my very first three-family house in Irvington in 2000. And I lived in the basement, and I rented out all 3 floors. And from there, I started buying 2 families, 3 families, flipping houses, rehabbing, and everything. And by the time I was 24 years old, I had 9 properties. I had a 6-story, 6-family and 2 families. And in 2008, the financial crisis hit, and I had 7 houses in foreclosure. I lost everything except my very first house. I kept that house as a reminder, and I fought very hard to keep that house. So like Lamont, in 2008, I was opening up my first IHOP at the age of 27. I was in foreclosure. I was going through a divorce. And I remember saying to myself, as long as I have a breath, I will always, always get up and be grateful that I made it on the other side. And no matter what is happening to me, today is a new day. And I worked my way out of my 7 foreclosures and find a new calling. Because in 2008, 56% of all black families in America lost their wealth, and 52% of Hispanic families lost their wealth. And I just knew there was something wrong with the system, and I needed to recalibrate and find out how to do something different and much bigger. And that's what kind of led me into solving problems, not just doing businesses. I started a different mission. If I'm gonna do a business, if I have an idea, somebody have to be employed. If I build something, people have to be occupants. So I started thinking bigger, and I changed my vision. And the universe just kind of worked and conspired to have me here today. So that's my story.
So next question I wanted to ask to the panelists. For someone in the audience who has no experience but wants to do business in Newark, what is the first practical step that they should take?
The first step is easy. They have a website on the city of Newark that you can go into property management and you can get information. You have the land bank from Invest Newark that you can reach out as well. Before reaching out to these and going to the city and asking questions, make sure that you educate yourself a little bit so they can understand what you're trying to do. Maybe you want to do a rehab. Maybe you want to do ground up construction. We're in a whole different age that we have a lot of information online, right? We got Chap to be your best friend that can teach you as well. So when you're coming to the city, come with a plan. They're there to help you, but you got to come correct and educate yourself a little bit so they can understand how they can help you as well. So remember, the city doesn't have a crystal ball. You got to help the city to understand what you're looking for and what you're capable of as well.
I would say, look, first take a step back and just look at yourself and understand what is the value that you have, right, as a person, as an individual, that you can bring to anyone. Because you're going to go out there, you're going to go to the city, and the city and the mayor has been absolutely amazing, even at these men's meetings that Mr. Abdul spoke about. They'll give you so many opportunities, right, and put you in front of people, but if you don't understand what your value is, you know, you're going to get slighted, right, or you won't know how to, you know, take on a situation. So really understand, what is it that I can bring to a transaction, a deal, or a business, right? And once you understand that, then, you know, as my fellow peer said, is really take your access to information and understand every element about real estate, right? You don't need to be a rocket science, right? But you do need to understand what are the basics, right? And even the basics you get from Invest Newark. You know, their team every month sends out all these news blasts that I sometimes delete. Sorry, Marcus, but they're amazing, right? It talks to you about the basics of what is LTV, right? Loan to value. You know, what is the difference between a two-family and a single family, and how you use all these resources, right? So it's literally just showing up on the door and being relentless, letting no one tell you no. And then using people like us. We're all very accessible. You know, even Calvin is extremely accessible. And just ask questions, right? But understand your value first.
I would say, don't be scared to fail, right? I think you gotta first start by understanding, as you hear these stories and you hear that everyone's journey to a certain extent had a level of failure involved in it. So it's not that you won't fail, you will, right? But you have to define your failures and your successes in a certain type of way, right? So if you read any of the books about success, they will all start with how they failed multiple times. And oftentimes, before we even get started, we let the fear of failure keep us from even taking a step forward. It keeps us from asking the question, right, what is loan to value? You never get there, right? Starting an LLC is a process that takes 15 to 20 minutes and is very simple to do. Taking the steps is not hard, right? Getting over yourself is monumental, right? So know you're going to fail so that when you do fail, you get back up and you take the next step, right? Because success comes with 1,000 failures. So if you know that, right, you can be more persistent as you move forward.
Next.
I think the first advice I would give anybody that want to do business in the city of Newark is, Newark is a very suspicious space. We look at everybody as what you want. And even me, I still get referred to as the African girl. I've been here since I was 12 years old. And I think you gotta get past that. I think you have to deeply, deeply, deeply be someone that's willing to not take no for an answer if you're gonna make it in Newark. Newark is a place that we want to know that you've been here in 1991 when it was the most dangerous city in the country. We want to know that your blood, sweat, and tears is somewhere on somebody's streets in Newark, right? So once you get past all of that, then you can say, okay, even if I'm not from here, my intentions are good, right? And I think once you're led by your intentions, I start everything with my intention because your intentions is going to give you the outcome, right? Understand not everybody is going to be rooting for you, but understand there's 1,000 people that's rooting for you. Do not be afraid to ask for help. We all messed up. It's the environment. But Newark is a place that have a lot of people that's going to help you out. No one is going to know what's going on with you if you don't ask for help, if you don't show up 1,000 times when you're supposed to until they get tired of you. If you want a plot of land, show up every day until somebody says, damn, you here again? You have to constantly, there's a saying I go by, you have to work twice as hard, be twice as good to get half of what they have. So as long as you understand that the deck is that stacked against you, you'll be okay. That is Newark. You have to outwork everybody to get where you need to be at. It's that simple.
So we want to transition to the next question. How do you build a strong development team, including attorneys, architects, contractors, lenders, and city professionals?
It's continue networking and reaching out. When you're looking for professionals, you got to at least interview 3 to 5 people, man. Sit down with them, ask the right questions, educate yourself. Don't assume that they have the answer for you. You're the one that's interviewing them. They're not interviewing you. So make sure, once again, you have to educate yourself again. And once again, we have the online system that can give you bullet points for the questions you can ask your professional, for the architect, the attorneys, and engineers. And if, let's say, for example, if you're working in certain cities, they always have like a selective group that does a ton of work in the city. Figure out who's the top attorney that's working in the city. Figure out who's the top architects that are going in front of the boards. And those are the ones that you want to start working with.
And I also think that we're up here, we've had certain experiences. I think we don't mentor each other enough. And we're in an environment right now where literally we are all we have. Nobody is coming to save us, no one, right? And it's about time we have the mentality of, if I have it, if I know it, you have it as well, right? There is no reason why I have gone through and built a development team, a successful one at that, and you have to start from scratch. That is a mentality that has benefited other communities, and we need to take on the same thing. If I know something, it costs me nothing to share that thing with you. And I challenge everyone in here, be a door opener, not a gatekeeper, right? There is no dividend in that. And I may not be as accessible as I used to be because I'm bouncing between New York and everywhere else, but if you catch me and you ask for something, it's my pleasure. I want to help, I want to see us win, because we don't always have to be, people don't have to be tall by standing on our backs. We have to stand up and hold each other up, and we have to mentor each other, and we have to be there for each other. That's what I'm saying.
Guys, for me, I would say it's trial by fire. You're going to find a team that doesn't work for you. But I would say be curious, be observant. You know, look at the planning board meetings. What are the attorneys that are getting the most amount of approvals, right? Who go to the building department? Who's getting through Bruno and his team, right, on the first round, right? Because every time that architect goes back, it's costing you a lot of money and a lot of time. But also understand, do they have the time for you, right? Just because they're the top attorney or the top architect, right? When you're in that beginning stage, they don't have the time for you, right? It's for them, it's almost like, it's like a check cashing place. It's just in and out, in and out, in and out, right? So you want to make sure that where you are, if you're doing 2-family houses, you want to see who's the best architect doing 2-family houses, right? Is it that they're doing subdivisions, or is it just as-of-right projects? You want to look at what are the attorneys that are small enough for me. They're not doing all the high-rises, but they're also doing those smaller projects. And they've got people in their firm to help you with that. But it's also cost-effective. Those are the things that, you know, I would evaluate. But talking to your peers, going to the meetings, it's pretty blatant, right? Newark is a very special place. There's only a few attorneys, as Calvin said, who can actually get things. Right, and there's only a few architects who only go through the first round in the building department, just because they understand everything, right? There's a few people in the planning board who they know they got their stuff right? They go through Pallavi and that entire team over in planning and zoning. So you want to put that team together, right? And even if it costs you a little bit more, I'm telling you, pay for it. Don't find the cheapest person, because you will pay consequences later. It'll just take more time.
Next question. How can small developers position themselves to participate in Newark's growth without being left out of larger development opportunities? I'm sorry. How can smaller developers position themselves to participate in Newark's growth without being left out of larger development opportunities?
I would say you got to understand how, to a certain extent, how deals are structured, and understanding where your value proposition comes into play. Right, larger developers have just started seeing the city of Newark as a place to come to. So, you know, the struggle, if you will, that we've had to get large projects out of the ground has resulted in some very large developers coming in and saying, we want to develop here. But they don't have that local expertise, right? So one of the things that we've heard echoed here is learn who the best architect is, learn who the lawyer is who is getting through on the first go-around. Those large developers come in town and they don't know all those things, but they want to move quickly. So they tend to try to find other developers, the minority developer that people have been talking about, and they'll come to meetings like this to try to find those small developers. You can get in on a deal 15, 20, sometimes 30%, right? Just because you can manage the day-to-day of what's going on in City Hall, who's going to be able to get a meeting with Director Ladd, who's going to have an opportunity to speak to Deputy Mayor Pennington, right, about how they can work through the financial stack. So there's value in being the small guy and the local guy on those bigger deals, and those larger developers are looking for you, right? So you should raise your hand and look for folks who may look a little suspicious being in a meeting like this, because they may be that large developer looking for a partner to help them manage getting through the process.
I want to add a different perspective to that. So when I first started in real estate development, I went big. I went 600 units, because I said, yeah, I'll do a 600 unit project. I will own 25, 30% of that. But I will caution us in this room, collaboration is good, but you have to collaborate with the right people, right? You have to understand that sometimes these larger developers, they come into these communities and they're looking for a face for a project. And they're looking for certain things out of you. They're looking to get their entitlement, their approvals, the pilots, and all of this stuff. Once they get those things, they really want you out the way. They're no longer invested in helping you understand the real estate game. You technically become a liability to them. They call you when they need to go to City Hall. They call you when the inspector is coming. But they're keeping you from the core of the real estate transaction, meeting with the syndicators, with the bank, seeing how the sausage is made. And I find my first 3 projects, and talk about development downtown, I built the very first large development downtown Newark, now 15 Broad Street. And I'm proud of that building, but I was at the table by myself, did not have proper representation because I was just so happy to be at the table, right? We have to caution ourselves because sometimes I'm at a table with whoever, L&M, whoever, and I'm excited because now I'm at the table. You need a good lawyer with you. I literally signed a deal that my partner wrote and said, sure. I was like, because we as folks, black folks especially, we're very collaborative. We want to work together. We want to move our community forward. And if we identify somebody that can help us do that, we move full steam ahead. But we have to understand, not everybody is of that collaborative mind. You have to understand people's intention at the table. I signed something, and literally, I own that building, but tomorrow, if my partner wanted to, he could evict me out of my house because of the transaction that was signed. So you may want to be at the table with those larger developers, but make sure that you're at that table with the same weight that they bring, and you have someone at the table protecting you. Because you could be in a major transaction and not make anything, but you could do a 3, 4, 5 family by yourself, learn it, and end up much better off. So just understand the risk to both of them.
We're good? Oh, sorry. I would say, look, stay away from the large transactions. I try to, I didn't start there. Because as Adina said, they look good, but they're not. They're very complicated, convoluted, and the sausage is already made before you even got to the table, right? You're just that last piece that they need to just get over the hurdle, right? But the equity stack is done. They know what the deal looks like. Their lawyers have already ran game, right? So, but what I would do is on those larger deals is understand where you can fit in. Maybe it's construction, right? Maybe you can come in and say, hey, I can be the electrician, or I can be the drywaller, or I can partner with another drywall company, right? And be able to get that value there. And there's a lot of money to be made on those transactions there. And use that capital that you can get from those large transactions to go do one on your own. Quickly, turn around, go and do a 2-family or a single family, or even a smaller multifamily development. Also, being in Newark and being from Newark gives you a lot of opportunities to acquire sites, right? Whether it's land, it's existing structures, use that to your advantage, right? As Abdul said, get a PDL, fill it out 100%, right? Every line, the LLC, your name, make sure it's right because it will get, bounced back from Corporation Counsel's office. And then once you have that, you have gold. Land, you don't get land again, right? It's just not, it's not there, right? So then you can go out and then you can go you can dictate the terms, right? And even if you have a 25 by 100, that is major, right? So that's how you really partner with developers, even partner with people like us, right? Bringing that additional value, or an entity like Invest Newark.
I just want to add, the common thread here, right, is, and people don't want to, everybody hates using lawyers, right? Like nobody wants to use lawyers. What I'd say to you is, you really need a good lawyer, right? If you have a good lawyer, some of those things can be avoided. And it may seem like it's a Herculean effort if you're gonna go sit at the table with the big developer and they hand you a joint venture agreement that might be 115 pages, and there's references to different documents that you may not know is there or not, right? The quick way out is to just kind of say, well, I can trust you, right, and sign the document. Don't trust anybody. Find yourself a good lawyer. You're going to need to pay them, but I can promise you they will keep you out of trouble in the long run, right? So if someone sits down at the table with you and says they're going to give you 10%, 15%, or whatever it is, your lawyer needs to make sure that you're not buried in that paperwork somewhere where they could turn around and say, well, okay, well, you were 10% when we first started, but you didn't know that we needed to go borrow money for construction, right? A good lawyer would tell you, in this document, it doesn't tell you the day they go to the bank, which is tomorrow, they're going to dilute you every single step of the way. They're not telling you that they've created a way to make sure that you are the absolute last person to get paid on the deal. Your lawyer will protect you from those things, right? And it will become contentious. I promise you. The developer will come back to you and say, why'd you bring this lawyer into the deal? They're fighting with me on X, Y, and Z. No, your lawyer is fighting on your behalf to make sure you are protected, okay? So you're gonna need to go through that, and I promise on the other end, the developer will respect you more because they know that you're going to make sure you get the benefit of the bargain, and it's just not a bunch of BS on paper. So I think even Adina, if you've learned, right, that a good lawyer at the table with you will make sure that that joint venture agreement, that partnership agreement, that contribution agreement, or whatever it is, does not actually end up cutting you out of the deal and taking your voice away, right? Find a lawyer who you can trust and that you know has your own best interest at heart. And if the JV partner says you can use my lawyer, call him a liar and call a different lawyer the next day.
As we prepare to...
can actually...
Oh, yes. Yeah.
I can attest to that. I'm on a transaction right now, and I have my lawyer, and he just does what he does, right? Just organically. And Calvin is on the other side. Actually, he's on the other side. And I was one day like, what the hell is up with this guy? Like, what, But I can tell you, this man, right? He saw things that I didn't even contemplate or that we would even see. But he also provided a solution for it, right? Because, I was like, well, goddamn. But I'm telling you guys, it is worth it. I've had lawyers and I pay a lot of money to them, right? Because it's the secret to the sauce. He's absolutely right about that.
And now, because we know what we know, no major developer want to bank with us. They're like, nah, we're good. Because now the negotiation is a little bit different. I'm literally negotiating something, and the other side's calling me like, is this your attorney talking, or is this you talking? I'm like, there's no distinction. He's talking, that means I'm talking. So you're gonna learn. You're gonna learn. You're gonna go through the pitfalls. It's gonna be hard. Egg is gonna be on your face. You're gonna make a fool of yourself, but you're still obedient to your calling. You're still obedient to that thing that you have in your heart, and you will see it on the other side. The other side will see you, for sure.
All right, so as we prepare to land, one question I want to ask to you, Ms. Adina. For those that are interested in owning a franchise like IHOP or another national brand, what does it really take financially, operational, and personally? And can you try to keep it? Yeah.
Well, right now I'm building cornbread. I've had IHOP now for almost going on 20 years. I've been in it for a very long time. And the franchise model have changed. The franchise model is changing every day. And from the perspective that I stand, franchising is great. IHOP was my learning playground. because I did IHOP, I was able to do cornbread. And cornbread's growing. We're growing over in New Jersey. We're growing in New York. And that's a brand that I always say, had I not been an IHOP franchisee, I would not have been able to create and start cornbread. So franchising just teach you. It's school because everything is kind of figured out for you. You literally just have to come in and follow the rules and understand that this is not your restaurant. You can't start your soul food restaurant in there like I did. And once you do that, I think you'll be successful.
All right, so this is the last question we're just going to ask the panelists, and let's just try to keep it under 15, 20 seconds. What was some of the early mistakes that you've made in this business?
Not reaching out to others for help. That's the key thing here. Being vulnerable and understanding if you're in trouble, you got to go out and ask for help. And remember, people are not mind readers, right? In this business, we're learning every day and things change. So reach out to the city, reach out to other developer, reach out to the subcontractor, reach out to your attorney, reach out to your accounting. It's different situation in this business that we're gonna fall, right? But always reach out when you have a problem. People are not mind readers. And I'd be honest with you, put your pride to the side, right? People are willing to help, but you gotta be vulnerable and say, hey, listen, I messed up here. Can you help me? Or can you guide me accordingly? It's not only asking for help, it's putting yourself in a predicament that you're trying to get yourself out of the jam and people will help.
I'd agree with that, right? We don't ask for help enough, and we oftentimes put ourselves into feeling a need to be superhuman and isolating ourselves, particularly as men, and even more so as black men, right? But what I've learned over the last 20 years of being in business for myself is that black men have helped me tremendously when I didn't even know it, right? So we have to be vulnerable enough to reach our hand out and say, I need some help. And you'd be shocked how many folks would be there to help you.
I would say the biggest mistakes I made in my first round was not knowing exactly where I wanted to go, right? Whether you want to run a restaurant, or I want to do property management, or I want to do construction, and trying to do everything, right? So I think first understanding what my lane is and where I want to be, and then really being laser focused there. That was one of my biggest mistakes. I think my second biggest mistake was not understanding a balance sheet and how important it is before I sign my name to everything, right? It becomes extremely important, and your value goes down every time you sign. So I would say, and then also understanding what a personal financial statement is, right? Just the raw basics and taxes. Everyone wants to create an LLC, like, oh, I got my LLC. While it's very inexpensive to start, and it takes 15 minutes, it becomes very expensive very quickly when you don't pay taxes and you don't register it every year. You're not doing no business, why are you starting an LLC? It means nothing, right? So I think understanding your lane first was where I made my biggest mistakes.
The biggest mistake for me is coming to a late understanding that I belong to a group of people that just refuse to give up. I think there's this thing that I go by, there's nothing to fear but fear itself. And the first mistake I made was my pastor said, not understanding whose you are. I come from a line of women, a line of community that have been stumped upon, that have been, terrible things have happened to us as a community. We have not let our experience shape us. We have let our experience inform us. So when I walk in a room now, I belong in every room that I walk in, right? Because I may walk in the room by myself, but there are 10,000 people, experiences that is walking in that room with me. The second mistake that I made coming up in this space is thinking that everybody see the world the way I see the world. I see the world as this very glass half full thing. When I see people, I see the very best in everybody until you show me otherwise. And my life experiences has taught me that although the world is good, you do have some people in there that have some really, really bad intention. And I've been grateful that those bad intentions have not hurt me too badly, but as you go through life, you're gonna have to understand, it shouldn't harden your heart, but really understand to be careful. Be careful out here, and that's to all of us, especially today. Not everybody that sits at a table with you wants the best for you. And always understand that, hold the claps 1 second. I gotta finish up. And always understand that no matter what, you can be as kind and as great to everyone you encounter. You're gonna find that one person that you offended. And that is that person, Crusade, to point out. And you're gonna have to be okay to be the bad person in somebody's story. And for a very long time, I did not want to be the bad person in anybody's story. So I put up with a lot of bad things. I took more than I was supposed to. But I now understand that it's okay sometimes to let people know when they're wrong, to fire people. I don't fire people anymore because it's the hardest thing for me to do. I let somebody else in the organization fire people now. It's not me, not me. Because when I go to fire somebody, it turned into a counseling session. I'd be like, well, do you have a resume to go find a new job? Do you want me to put a resume together for you? Do you want me to go apply for the job for you? And my manager would be like, Tina, we're here to fire the person. So I don't do that anymore. But for a very, very long time, I struggled with this. And it was a mistake. I kept people around longer than I was supposed to. But that is my journey. I can't change anything. But those are the two mistakes that I made.
Let's give our panelists a huge round of applause. Let's thank them for coming out. Let's thank them for coming out. We can do better than that. Let's give them a proper round of applause. Hold the line. You guys are great. At this time, as we prepare to hear from our mayor, Raj J. Baraka, we thank our brother as this is the 9th annual men's meeting. Hold the line. We had nine years of hosting the men's meeting, which is once a month, so that's over 108 months. Our brother has been back-to-back hosting the men's meeting. You know, we do the men's meetings from 6 to 8, but sometimes it goes a little longer from 6 to 9, so that's 972 hours. And if we put that in minutes, that's 58 minutes, 58,320 minutes, 20 minutes. Our brother has put in 3,499,200 seconds. Let's give our brother a huge round of applause for holding the line, for opening up a space for us to meet and talk. Let's introduce our brother, Mayor Raj J. Baraka. Hold the line. Hold the line. You can do better than that. Let's give our brother, come on, off your feet. You can do better than that. Let's give our brother a huge round of applause. He deserves it. All the work that he's put in, back to back, consistently. Get up off your feet and give our brother a proper standing ovation. Why not? You stand up and give a judge an honorable stand up. Give our mayor the same courtesy. He deserves it. Hold the line. Hold the line. Hold the line. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Please sit down. Hold the line. Can you get them people, those brothers out of the hallway and bring them inside, please? Somebody get them guys out of the hallway. I know we like to fellowship a lot of times, but we miss the information because we're not in the space where we need to be when the information is being said. I want to thank the business administrator for coming out, Corporation Counsel here, head of Invest Newark is here, Invest Newark is in the building. The deputy mayor was in the back over there, Rahman Muhammad. We got brothers from Elizabeth here as well. Elizabeth is in the house. We got brothers from Jersey City in here. Jersey's Councilman Gilmore and the crew, they in the house. We got some brothers from Trenton here as well. Trenton is in the house. So We attract people from all over the state, so I just want to thank everybody for coming. I want to give Josiah a round of applause as well. And the entire panel that came up here, we want to give them, for giving of their time, of the information that they have. Hopefully some people paid attention. I saw some of y'all paying attention. Some of us was doing what we normally do, but a lot of us was paying attention, and I appreciate that. And I pray that you got some information, some nuggets, some encouragement from them so you can go on and do what you're supposed to do. Because we're not here for hero worship. Let me say that again. We not. I know Josiah made y'all stand up when I came up here, but we not here for hero worship. Because all of us are flawed. We here really to find in ourselves what we need to do the things that we have to do, and we get inspiration from other people. We see the God in them because it speaks to the God in us, right? And so we attract one another like that, and that's really what we're doing. You're not here because when you start lifting people up, they're going to invariably let you down. That's why we're not here for that. That's why I get upset sometimes when that happens. Reverend Roundtree will tell you all the time, because ultimately I want you to see the God in you. A lot of times we're so focused on other people, we forget ourselves. I watch social media. I see grown men on social media, 60 years old, standing in front of other people's property, talking about other people, 60 years old, talking about other people's property, saying, oh, this guy doing this guy doing that. Not one time did they advertise themselves. Not one time did they say anything about themselves. Not one time did they think about something that they could do, something they could create. They here on social media, they really wasted their time to go find a place to go stand in front of that's not theirs and talk about somebody else's property for 30 minutes. It's a problem. That's a problem. And whether you don't like them or not, you're giving them too much energy. Never do I wake up every morning thinking about somebody else. Enough to a point that my day is going to be dedicated to trying to bring that individual down. No, I'm so busy trying to lift myself up, I don't have time to put anybody else down. Just doesn't make any sense. Damn it, if you 60 years old doing that, you in bad shape. You in bad, you too damn old for this. When I saw that, I said, this is bad. That you see these people, that most of their day is spent trying to bring other people down as opposed to lifting themselves up. And that's because we don't know who we are. I even see people in here, we so consumed with being like tough. We consumed with that, like being tough. I know, I grew up in Newark, I know what that means to have to do that, right? You're consumed with that. We are competing with each other to be the best loser. That's what we're doing. We're competing with each other to see who could lose the best. Because we are losing. You're losing. So you're losing, you just want to look good at it. And you want to look better than the next person in losing. The reality is, I don't care what you got on, what your appearance is, so forth and so on. You should be working to win, not lose. You should be working to win and join with other people so you can win together, so that we can have a collective victory, not an individual. I'm too busy competing with you to lose. Like, I don't want to lose no more. We want to win. We in here collectively so we can win, and we giving out information to people so that you can win, so that you can win. You know, our problem is we looking for gifts. And I heard somebody tell me before, if I buy you a car, the best car, the fanciest car, the car you dream of, that you always wanted, if you don't know how to drive, the car is going to sit in your driveway, and you still going to walk to work. So the gift is not the end of what you need. What you really need is to prepare yourself, to discipline yourself, to train yourself. So I can give you all the gifts in the world. I can give you all the land you need tomorrow. If you don't know what to do with the land, if you don't know how to develop the land, if you don't have, it'll sit there and it'll be useless, and we'll wind up taking it back from you. So you fussing, oh, the city, I need some land. They don't give me no land. You're not ready for the land. You haven't prepared yourself. And this is what the people tell me. You don't have the information. You don't have what you need. So if I give you the land now, you can develop it. It means something to you. You can have a Mercedes-Benz that sits in your driveway for 30 years that you don't know how to drive. You just walk past it and polish it every day. But you get no use out of it, right? There's no need for you to get money if you're going to throw it away as soon as you get it. I can give you all the money in the world. If you throw it away the next day, it's like you never even had it. The men's meetings are designed so that when you get money, because money is a tool, and we talk about that in the men's meeting. Money is a tool. It's not the end, it's the tool. It's not wealth. Money is not wealth. Money is a tool to get wealth. It's like language. You speak language in order to communicate. You communicate in order to build, right? Build knowledge, build information. We separate each other based on the languages we speak. I'm Spanish, I'm English. No, you're not. You don't define yourself by the language you speak. Your language is a tool that you use to communicate so you can build. The same thing with money. Just because you got money don't mean you're rich. That's the reality. We're so busy trying to floss. That's why you see people on the internet with the money in their ear. You might as well pick up a hammer and put it in your ear. A saw, a screwdriver. It's the same thing. 5 years later, all that's gone because they didn't know how to take that money, those tools, and develop wealth. Wealth is ownership. That's why slavery did so terrible, put us in the situation that we're in. I come here to talk to you because I want you to know that Jesus is my brother. I'm gonna start there, and I'm not even being religious. I'm telling you this because somebody told me that when they were taught to pray in the book, it said "Our Father," and "our" means I'm related, and if Jesus says say "Our Father," I mean I'm his brother. And then I saw somewhere else where it said his hair was like lamb's wool and his feet was like bronze burning in the oven, so he looked like me, which means I'm his brother. And if Jesus is my brother, I can't be a nigga. That's just a fact. That's a fact of the matter, right? If Jesus is my brother, whenever I can do whatever I put my mind to, I can create whatever I want to create, I can build whatever I want to build, and can't nothing subdue me. Like that's just a fact. And we come in this room to make people feel that way, so when you go outside, you can break a brick. And nothing can stand in your way, because ultimately, when you're talking on your knees in the darkness of your home, you're talking to your daddy. That's how you got to look at it. When you walk around and you see Jesus is your relative, your brother, then you behave differently. Then you see your brother differently. Then I look at you differently. Then I can't just take your life so easily on the street simply because of a block you claim or a neighborhood you from or a color you wear, because Jesus is my brother and he's your brother too. That's why the men's meetings are important to us. Let me tell you something, like apes got to beat their chest because they were born to do that. Lions roar because they were born. They don't have no choice. They were born to do that. Birds fly because they have to fly. They don't have no choice, right? Fish swim in the ocean because they don't have no choice. You're the only people that got a choice. Your choices and decisions you make determine your outcome in your life. Birds can't do that. You can. That's why slavery was so detrimental, because ultimately what it did was take away our choice. It took away our choice, so we were forced to do things that were counter to who we were created to be. And then we got the mindset, so we're still doing those things even though we're not in chattel slavery. They have created in our mind and our culture the same habits they forced us to practice while we were in chattel slavery. We do it today, so we don't have to find the back door. I mean, we don't have to put us in the back door. We find the back door ourselves, as Carter G. Woodson said. The reality is the slave mentality makes us act like slaves. We walking around with dead clothes, dead scent, dead mind. Slave mentality has us in the street and on social media attacking each other while our enemies run around scot-free. That's a fact. It's a slave. This mentality, I can't do it. It ain't never gonna get done. I can't make it happen. They trying to do this to me. Somebody trying to do that to me. These people are stopping me from doing this. These people are stopping me from doing it. Ain't nobody stopping me from doing a damn thing. I can't make this happen. This person in my way. Only person in your way is you. Get out your own way. Only person in your way is you. That's the reality of the matter. So, and even if I can't do it alone because it's too heavy for me, I'm going to bring other people with me so we can lift it together. So we can lift it together. That's why you have to join with folks. Some projects, some ideas are too big for you. In fact, if all of your ideas that you can lift all your ideas yourself, then you just small-minded. If you got big things on your mind, then you know you need your brothers to help you lift it because it's too heavy for you to do by yourself. It's too big, it's too cumbersome, it's too difficult. You need more people to help you lift it so you can carry it further. But you so slave-minded, you believe that all you need is you because your brother is going to try to snake you. We talk like this in the men's meetings. Why? Because the first thing that we need to build in order to be builders are relationships with each other. We can't establish relationships with each other because we don't like each other. We don't trust each other. We can't stand and sit at the same table with one another. We get angry when people walk past us. I know, we stand on the corner and other people walk past you, you angry at them, you don't even know who they are. Your face all twisted up. What this nigga doing on my block? Walking through my neighborhood, what's wrong with this? You angry. I was a teacher, kids angry 8 o'clock in the morning in first block class. They angry at 8:15 a.m. I'm like, damn, brother. We in English class. You mad in English at 8:15? Something wrong. Right? Our relationships with each other are broken. They're broken because our family relationships have been broken on purpose. Deliberately, they're broken. Our relationships with our dad, with our mother, with our brothers and sisters, broken. Deliberately broken. So we can't establish relationships. And the problem with that is your net worth is based on your network. Your net worth is related to your network. And the first network you got is family. The network, your first network is your family. That's the fundamental organization of society is family. Your first business is your family. That's your first business. We can't do business with each other, with our own family, right? We can't do business with each other because we have self-hatred and we look at the individual as an outgrowth of ourselves. So you just me, I know I'm a snake somebody, so he gonna snake somebody. We have broken familial relationships, so we have broken community relationships, and we can't get together like this and be able to build business. I can get together with you and talk about somebody else, but I need to be able to get with you and trust you so we can build business. Isn't that right? Some people have gotten past that and began to build businesses with each other And you heard these folks up here talking about who you can't trust, who this one is. Listen, this is where we are. And I'm not trying to tell you to put your guard down. What I'm telling you is that we have to build faith in each other. And in order to do that, you're going to get burnt a couple of times. Because we're organizing with people, we're trying to unite with people who don't think the way we think. I've got burnt many times. Helped many people who now trying to kill me. Over and over and over again. Over and over and over, over and over and over again. But it doesn't stop me from doing the things that I need to do because I'm not doing it for them, I'm doing it for me. The reality is I done helped a whole bunch of folks and they get amnesia 5 years later. They get amnesia where they was before they came into contact with us, and now they're doing something different, and now they're talking about you because they didn't get what they wanted out of it individually. So it's easy for us to blame other people for our own inconsistencies and shortcomings as opposed to working on ourselves. You want a new Benz, learn how to drive. That's the reality of it. And so when you're in this meeting and you're getting this information, some people come to the men's meeting, like Abby said, they looking for stuff. When they walk out and they don't get the stuff, they get upset because they think the men's meetings, when you come in there, they're going to shower you with things. That's not what this is about. We're trying to shower you with information. What you do with the information is based on you and your preparedness and your work, your ability, your capacity to work hard and stick to it is the things that's going to make you successful versus those people who are not successful. You can come in there and walk right out. If you're looking for something special, you came to the wrong place. You know why? Because the something special, you already had it before you came into the meeting. When you understand that, then your relationships begin to change with people when you begin to understand who you are. When you understand that when I came into this room, I already had what I needed. I'm in this room so I could build on what I have already. If you think you don't have anything, then you'll never have anything to offer. And when you come in there, you're looking to take, because you feel like you're empty, and you're not empty. You're not empty. The same darkness I see when I close my eyes is the same darkness you see when you close your eyes. The same thing. When I go to sleep, I need sleep and food just like you need sleep and food. The reality is everything that you're supposed to have, God gave it to you already. He already gave it to you. I don't care where you are. I don't care if you're on a block, if you're incarcerated, if you're in the business room, if you're in the courtroom or elected office. You already have what you're supposed to have. Whether you have access to that is something different. Whether you've accessed that inside of your own body, inside of your own person, inside of your own mind, right? And let other people help you facilitate that, that's on you. That's on you. But I don't get afraid of building relationships with other people because my kingdom is here. My dome, my head is here. Everything that I need to understand and learn, I can understand and learn on my own accord. When I join with other people, it just expands what we already know. And our ability to do things gets bigger and greater because I've joined with other people. And when other people don't want to join with what we're doing, it's their loss, not mine. Because likes attract, and somebody's going to come to you regardless. The truth has a magnetic attraction. It's going to bring people to you anyway. People in your space are going to come in your space because of the aura and the energy you put out there based on how you talk, how you walk, and how you feel. All that will attract people, right? It also attract your enemy, but it attract the people that like you too. It attract your enemy because your enemy don't want to see you successful. And they don't want to see you successful, not because of you. So let's stop there. Before I give you this information I came to give you so you can leave. Some of us think that we're successful, that our enemies are mad at us because of us. And that's how your ego get involved in it. You walk around like you somebody. They trying to get you because of your proximity to everybody else. Your ability to help, enlighten, lift other people is what the enemy is after. He's not after you. He's after the fact that you can get 10 other people to be like you. That's what he's upset about. He's not afraid. You can go all by yourself and do all kind of stuff. He's mad at the 40 other people that's going to follow you. That's what he's upset about. I need to end this right now. I need to tear this up and destroy this right now. Not because he's making the blind see, or the dumb hear, or the dumb speak, or the deaf hear. We need to stop this because people are praising him and following him and believing in him, so we got to kill him. You think it's about you. You got all of this stuff. You're supposed to be giving it out. You're supposed to be sharing it. You're supposed to be lifting other people up. You're supposed to be spreading your business, spreading your information, spreading the thing. You're supposed to be spreading and getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. But no, when you do that, your enemies will show up, which means you need a greater army. If you need a greater army, you need to be in rooms like this recruiting soldiers every day. I'm not fighting with you over petty nonsense. People want me to respond to foolishness all the time. I don't respond to foolishness because I have a greater thing to do. That's not my assignment. I'm responding to this foolishness, respond to that foolishness. The reality is we got something big to build. We can't be distracted. You can't be distracted. You know in your mind you came here, something you want to do, and it's something stopping you from getting it done. You got to push that out of the way and get to do the things you want to do, even if it's simply to change the trajectory of your life. Whatever I was doing yesterday, I don't want to do it tomorrow. And one thing that was said, that I think Josiah or somebody else said when they got up here, he said, thank God for the new day. Thank God for the opportunity to try it again tomorrow. That if I fail today, I can get up tomorrow and do the same thing. I could try it all over again. Thank God for the breath in my lungs, the facility and activity of my limbs, the soundness of my mind, the ability to be around every day, to still fight and breathe the way I fight and breathe, to be able to make mistakes again and again and again. I thank God for my ability to come out here and do this all of the time and make my enemies upset. I thank God for that. And you should thank God too. I don't care where you are. You could be in a halfway house somewhere, in a bed with 3 or 4 other people in the room. God put breath in your lungs and ideas in your mind. That means you don't always have to be in that room. That one day, the next day can come, and you can do something else the next day or the day after that or the day after that. I don't care if you're a damn junkie on the street. If you woke up the next day with a needle in your arm, you still got the ability to take the needle out your arm and stand up on your own 2 feet and do something different the next day than you did the day before. I don't care where you work or what's going on or how much money you making. Stop complaining about the money you making now and figure out a plan to make some more damn money. Stop complaining about other people and making other people the reason for your situation and figure out how to get out of your own damn situation yourself. Stop blaming other people for the problems that you have, because the people that's responsible for you being in this situation ain't never gonna be around. The people who owe us ain't gonna pay us. There's some people who owe you. They ain't paid you yet. Yet. We've been fussing for decades. They ain't paid us $1, a dime, a brick, a stick, a blade of grass, a hokey pokey, or a puff of smoke. They ain't give us nothing. So the reality is we got to build this stuff ourselves, and that's what we're doing. We fighting for reparations, but in the meantime, I need reparations. Yes, I'll be the first one. I want reparations. You owe me. But in the meantime, the today time, the right now time, I got to build something for myself. Why? Because I still got a family. I still got people to feed. I still got community out there. I got to build. I can't just lay down and sit by the fence and say, if I do something, I might die. Damn it, I'm gonna die if I sit here and do nothing. I don't got time to complain or whine or be on social media at 60 years old talking about somebody else's property. If I'm gonna take you to a property at 60 years old on social media for 30 minutes, you better believe it's gonna be my damn property. The hell, I'm out here talking about somebody else's stuff. I have people getting into fights about athletes and basketball players and rappers on the street arguing about other people's money, other people's stuff, other people's things, and other people's lifestyles. Meanwhile, you broke on a crate in front of an abandoned building on a block where you don't own nothing, looking over your shoulder hoping you stay alive for the next 3 hours. Arguing about somebody else's money, their cars, whatever they got. The reality is, get your own stuff. Rockman is still here. I don't know if he's still here or not, Rockman. And I'm saying this because, you know, we had a meeting. There's a lot of development going on in the city. Now, let me give you this information. There's a lot of development going on in the city, right? A lot of development. A lot of people are building. And we trying to figure out how to be a part of that, whether we in a union or whether we independent contractors or whether we want to be a part of that, whether we want to be a partner in that development. We're still trying to figure out how to be in. There's billions of dollars worth of development happening in the city, billions. We're still trying to figure out how to be in, right? There's some of us who are waiting to be, you know, a part of an apprenticeship or journeyman, waiting for the union to open their books so they can get in there. Some of us got small businesses and we're waiting for people to choose us, 2-family, 3-family homes, and we need, and Adina was 100% right. You need to be, if that's you, you need to be rocking that space, doing as much as you can with all of the small development. You need to do that and not worry about people in the bigger buildings. You need to do 15, 20 of those over and over again if you can. Spread that around the state, not just get stuck and confined to the city of Newark. Spread that everywhere. But I want to say, too, that what we have to begin to do in our relationship, and this is no disrespect to folks in unions, because I think everybody needs a union job because they're getting paid. But there's some people that are in there that sit in the hall and don't get sent to places either. So I think that our relationship should begin to change a little bit, right? So we don't necessarily have to go through specific people in order to learn a trade. We can learn a trade ourselves. We need to build all you developers, we need a school that trains our people in those trades. And we need to hire the people to train them who are from our community, who already went through the unions and already have that. We need to hire them to train them in those trades. Then when you get the skill, learn how to get your driver's license. When you get the skill, then you start a company, right? Maybe a plumbing company, electrician company, contractor, or maybe you do multifaceted and you hire everybody in the trade in your company, right? You can now go to the developer and offer your business as a sub to those to them, especially if they have to do PLAs or union. Then you can go to the union, listen, you can go to the union and say, listen, you can unionize my workers, but they are my workers. You understand what I'm telling you? Meaning, it's like we got a cleaning contract for the city. The city hires the people to clean the city up, but they're all a part of a specific union. So the union didn't hire them, we did. So if you got your own company, you can hire the people that you want to hire in your own company that have been trained by people who you've paid that you know to train them. Then you, instead of fighting with these people and say, making developers say, oh, this is non-union union, you could go to them and say, look, I have a smaller business. I have plumbers, electricians, so forth and so on. We got certified, we doing this. Get on that job, go to the union and allow the union to unionize your workers. You can do that. You can do that. And establish a relationship. We have to build a different relationship with what's going on here. We have to be creative and think differently about what's happening out here, or we will always be at the end of the line. Think about it differently. And there might be some nuances that I didn't mention that you want to add in there or say to it in order to make it better, right, for you and for the people around you. But we have to get each other trained, or we're going to be watching buildings go up with our lip poked out, hoping other people hire our children because we can't. You know, fundamentally, that's what we're doing. We're putting pressure on people, even though they're doing business in our community and they ought to give up something. I just want you to think about the psychology of what we're telling people, right? We're telling people that you got this multi-million-dollar business that you're developing in the city, but you got to hire my kids and not yours. Like, you got to hire the people in my community and not yours. And some of them go for that a little bit, and you know they ain't going for it a lot. You can see that. They go for it a little bit because the money they making is big, so they take the money and they say, okay, we'll hire 15% of Newarkers. We'll hire 10% of Newarkers. We'll hire 20% of Newarkers. Black and brown, Latinos and blacks, we'll hire a couple of them, bring them in. Maybe we'll hire 10. We got 350 employees, we'll hire 10, we'll hire 15, and we did okay. And we still yelling and screaming, we want you to hire more, we need you to hire more, we need you to hire more. And they probably should hire more just out of equity and fairness and faith and the ability, but the psychology of that. As a man sitting here, the psychology of that. While your kid's in the house, who the first person you gonna look to hire? Come on. Come on. I just want to make it real for us to understand why it's necessary for us to own and build and operate in our own community, so we're not debating with people about hiring the people in our own neighborhoods. We already know the logic of it. It is natural for us to reach out and hire the people in our own community. That's why you have to empower people, because look, check this out. Why should I support Adina's business or anybody else's business? Because they are going to hire people in my community. Doesn't that make sense? It makes sense. Not, oh, you're doing that because such and such and such. No, it's called self-preservation. That's what it's called, self-preservation. Yeah, I'm going to support them. Why? Because I don't got to fight them to hire the young lady who just came home from school. I don't got to fight them to hire old boy who was on the block too long and made a decision, I want to change my life. I don't got to fight them to train individuals so they can own businesses, so they can think about how to develop themselves. I don't have to fight them to go into communities, to speak at meetings, to train our children, to go to schools, to love our neighborhood and love our community. I don't have to fight them to do that, because it is a natural instinct to love yourself. It's a natural instinct. So, yeah, we're supposed to support and uplift them. That's why it drives me crazy when I see people at these meetings getting angry when we help other black and brown people get business and get different things. They're fighting them, which is really counterintuitive, because you're fighting yourself, right? You're fighting yourself because when they get business and when they develop, you never know. Your child 15 years from now might be working for the company that you helped support when you were their age. That's just a fact. So everybody in here who has a business, hopefully you brought your business cards. If you didn't, that's a problem. I say that at the men's meeting. If you came in here without your business card, that's a problem. Secondly, the most important person in the room is you. The second most important is probably the person sitting next to you. I know when it's finished, there's going to be a long line of people running to talk to me. And I always say that at the men's meeting, everybody ain't gonna be in a long line to talk to the mayor. It's all good. The reality is the people that could probably help you immediately are probably sitting at the table next to you. And so it's important to network with each other. It's important to talk to the mayor, you got it, because you want to say hold the line. You want to be able to say hold the line. But it's also important to more important to talk to the people in this room. You got money lenders, you got developers, you got contractors, you got electricians, you got developers, you got business owners all in this space. It's important to talk to them more than it is to talk to me. It's important to have a relationship with me. Come to the men's meetings, you'll have a better relationship with me at a men's meeting than you will at the men's breakfast, because there's 1,000 of y'all in here. At the men's meeting, there's about 50, 60 strong brothers and a couple of ladies who come through all the time as well. And it's easier to have a conversation with me at those places. And I only have one job. That's to provide cover fire. Two jobs, actually. Give information and provide cover fire. I don't know if any people know what cover fire is. When you get in trouble, you need a sniper. That's the mayor's job. I'll provide cover fire. I'm going left and making a right. I need somebody to take care of these people that are trying to block me. In order for me to get to my spot, my job is to snipe them out of the way so you can get, it is easier for you to get to where you got to go. That's my job. I don't have no other job but that. I can't do it for you. I don't got no money to lend you. I ain't gonna write your business plan together. I don't know how to do a performer. I don't even know how to do a performer. I don't know how to fill all your gaps. I can't get you an architect, an engineer, a lawyer. You gotta put all that together. I can't sit at the table and do the deal for you. Don't come to me. Even if we give you the land, if you don't know what you're doing with it, in 18 months, we're gonna take it back. Don't get angry and get on social media and start saying, oh, they took my land back because you sat on it and couldn't develop it for 2.5, 3 years. It wasn't my fault. You did that, right? Because you weren't ready for it. The reality is you got to do all of those things. But there are going to be people who the devil put in your way to stop you from pursuing your dreams. They're there on purpose. They're thorn in your side, but his grace is sufficient. They're there to stop you. I sit on top of a mountain with a long gun and a scope. My job is to say ping, 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 and then it makes it easier for you to get around, right? And then when it get too crazy, you just say hold the line. So some of the bros, I see them in the hallway and they walk past and I'm meeting with other people. They say, hold the line. And I stop and like, hold the line, bro. And they looking at me like, who are those guys? The same story Calvin gave, right? There are people who come to my office without one person that look like nobody in this room. That's the last time they ever show up. They never come back like that. Because somebody has told them between the trip from my office back to the elevator that they made a bad decision. Then they start calling lawyers and expediters that look like me or close to me. And they come back in the room, how you doing, Mr. Mayor? And they start letting them talk. It's an easy job. I thank God for that job, right? You ain't even got to do nothing. All you have to do is help the people in our community. And when you do that, I'll provide cover fire for you. That's as simple as that. And I had no problem saying it publicly. I had no problem saying it publicly. I provide cover fire. I will lay them down. But you got to be prepared. I can't bring you in a room and you hemming and hawing and but I thought and this was that and or your paperwork messed up or this person did this or you done did this thing wrong and that thing wrong or this thing wrong. You got to come in there tight and right. Tight and right. So when we provide the cover fire, you win. And when you win, everybody else wins at the same time. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for coming to the men's breakfast. We have a men's meeting that my good brother Josiah runs. Hopefully we get to see y'all there on Fridays, every last Friday? Fourth Friday of the month at Central High School at 6 p.m., excuse me. Please come, be a part of those meetings. Hold the line. Hold the line. Hold the line.
Let's give our Mayor Rice J. Baraka a thunderous round of applause. You can do better than that. Let's give him a huge round of applause. Thank you, thank you, thank you.